It's officially 8 weeks since cervical, spine surgery, through my throat, into my neck, 2 discs removed, C4-5 and C5-6, spacers were inserted, plates and screws drilled in, and I've decided to make this video for 2 reasons. The first is an update. I am doing well, thank goodness, and thank God. I've been completely off social media for 2 months, focusing on my recovery, and also I'm at the tail end of the last semester of this Bachelor of Psychology 3-year undergrad degree before moving on to 4th year honours next year and then 2 years of masters after that. And the second reason why I've created this video is for those that may want to know how this experience from the day of surgery followed by the recurring days after that was like. Maybe you're just curious, or perhaps you might be going through ACDF spinal surgery coming up yourself. I vlog day 1, the day of surgery, up to day 5. I share my thoughts and feelings and reflections in the moment. You might have watched my previous video on me discovering my diagnosis about spinal stenosis, disc degeneration, and disc protrusion, causing me to lose my right arm function, which led me to getting this surgery and the urgency of it in the first place. That video on YouTube had about 6,000 views and 120 comments within a couple of weeks of people sharing their own challenges of this same condition. And one of my posts on Instagram managed to reach over 3 million people. So there's clearly something in this that has resonated with people, even indirectly, with perhaps your own health journey or that of your loved ones. So my hope for this vlog, like with most of my content nowadays, is to help someone out there feel a little less scared and a little more hopeful. Oh, and stay tuned until the end where I share some really good news. Hey everyone, it's Monday the 1st of September. It's just past 9 AM, the morning of my day of surgery. For those of you that have been following me on this journey, I'm getting 2-level anterior cervical discectomy and fusion. The removal of the discs C5 and C6, trimming of bone spurs, and then the insertion of spacers so that the fusion of those bones can occur over a 12-month period. But yeah, it's been an exhausting 6.5 weeks almost now, since I couldn't lift up my right arm fully, even up to 90 degrees and beyond. So I can't lift it above my head. The signal being impeded and severely compressed due to narrowing of the spinal canal and the foramen, which is known as stenosis, and then also the degeneration of the discs and also the bulging of the discs onto those very already narrow spaces. So that's a bit of context. I thought I'd share a little bit about how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking as I'm in the car heading to the hospital pre-surgery, which will go on for about 2.5 to 3 hours, I'm told. So I've spoken to my neurosurgeon twice, also the anaesthetist. Just complete surrender now. Of course I'm a bit nervous. Naturally, any type of surgery, especially the spine, it's has its own risks, but statistically it has been one of the most common surgeries, has a high success rate as well. As my mum recently said to me, Ram, you don't go to a surgeon to get them to bake a cake. And I think it's so appropriate, because we just have to trust in God and the people being used, and in this case the surgeon and the medical team and the nurses, anaesthetists, because they're good at that one thing. And if we were to get a cake, we'd get it from a professional baker, and this surgeon is so very credible and experienced. 17 plus years doing surgery specifically for complex spinal cases. Very much comforted by that. At the same time, it's not for me to know all the technicalities as well. My mind can sometimes try to analyze everything. In fact, he said something really funny in the last consultation I had when I decided. He said, well, Ram, what do you want to do? I said, let's go through with it, doc. Seems very urgent, because I asked him point blank, what would you do? And he said, look, if it were me, I'd get this done right away, because the further that you go without being able to lift your arm, which implies that there's nerve damage, the more likely it will be permanent. And although there's no guarantees, even after surgery, at least A, you give yourself a chance to improve even partially, and secondly, B, you also attempt to prevent and resolve other issues that my condition is gradually progressing towards as well. So yeah, I said, let's go ahead with it. And then he was like, all right, what hardware would you like? And I said, honestly, the thing that you use the most, that you're comfortable with, because there are so many different fusion types, what they call spacers, or also referred to as cages. And it's quite fascinating, the material, the types of arrangement, the amount of screws that you drill in. And after that, he said, all right, when would you like to get it done? And I said, well, look, time is of the essence, so as soon as possible. How's your calendar looking? He pulls up his calendar. He said, yeah, I could do this Monday. Mind you, that consultation was on a Tuesday, so less than a week away. He goes, yep, Monday. I've got half the day dedicated to removing a tumor, a major surgery, but yeah, I've got 2 slots available in the afternoon for you. Would you like one of those spots? So it's mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. I did say to him, Doc, with all due respect, do you think you'll be all right, energy-wise, and removing a tumor? And he looked at me, he said, oh, it's fine. He said, this is normal. Almost implying that it's not even busy. So he was just very chill about it. And then I proceeded to ask him how many times he does this a year. Granted, he's done this 17, 18 years. He said, single level ACDF surgery, he does over 100 times a year at least. And then 2 level ACDF, which is what I'm getting, he said at least over 50 a year. So yeah, this guy's done 1,000 to 2,000 at least of these surgeries. So I'm very, very grateful to have the resource and access to the expertise of multiple neurosurgeons. There was another wonderful neurosurgeon who I've had consult before with. That was regarding Tarlov cysts a year and a half to almost 2 years ago. She was equally someone that I would be very confident in getting surgery with when it comes to spine related matters. So anyway, it's a beautiful sunny day actually in Sydney today. Hoping to just find a bit of calm, but thought I'd hop on here and share a little bit about what I'm thinking and feeling. And speaking of calm, I am at that point where, as one of my friends, Heidi, said to me, Ram, your job now is to just sleep. When you get in that operating room and they do the thing, yeah, it's just another way of me learning to let go. And I think I'm meeting a part of myself that I never met before. Something that is quite fascinating for me to sit with and observe. As I do study psychology, it's very different, the theory versus the lived experience and living experience. Lifeline as well on the phones, I hear a lot of people with chronic pain, and I feel actually very much closer to them in many ways, because this is a pain that I have not felt before. It is and has been excruciating in different ways. Physically, for the first 2 to 3 weeks, especially of that 6-week block, when I was getting these symptoms of not being able to lift up my arm, it's horrible. It's like from here, my neck, down to my traps and down to my shoulder and arm. It was like someone has just hacked an axe throughout those areas. And then you have the mental toll and the emotional, psychological toll, all those things. As I said in my other video, I'm sitting with the gift that this also brings. One of my lecturers in a subject I'm taking now, advanced topics in health psychology, he said the definition of resilience is the ability for someone to bounce back from adversity. Then proceeded to talk about the importance of support in terms of social support. And he went on to say the definition of social support is the perception and experience of being loved and cared for. The perception and experience of being loved and cared for. And I certainly feel that. So much love and care from people, friends and family, loved ones, people that I've met decades ago, right through to people that I've just met. I love you all. I am so appreciative of your messages. It really does actually help so much. The empathy, and I would describe it as like borrowing courage and faith sometimes when you can't or don't have enough of it, or seemingly feeling down in the dumps or just defeated or, you know, your body, you rely on it so much, you know what it can do, but the reality is it's not going to be like that forever. We of course hope and want longevity, but it is one of those instances where I'm going to this surgery, and I was saying to my wife that last night, I was saying, wow, tomorrow and forevermore beyond that, I will have a different neck. You know, and I really mean that in the direct sense that I will not be able to move around 15% of rotation, up, down, left, right, tilting, left, right as well. I will be restricted by that roughly 15% degrees. And of course I'll adapt to that, and you'll take that, gosh, over debilitating pain and loss of function. You take that any day of the arm, you take, you know, having some restriction of your neck over not being able to lift up your arm. Like, of course, I mean, for me anyway, that's my opinion. There's a few things that I thought I'd share. So almost there at the hospital now. See how I feel. If I can take you on the journey when I'm in there, for sure I'll be recording how I'm feeling after. A bit of sun in the waiting area. What a beautiful day it is. Bags are packed. Not your everyday holiday. Just arrived to admissions. For those that haven't seen, that's what I can do with my left, and that's as far as I can go with my right. Come on. No, that's it. Gotta change my gown. Socks. Gown. Got the nurse to take some bloods. Standard blood test procedure. Had another nurse just go through all my medical history details and all that. So I've been told that the operation before me is a 4.5 hour procedure. Mine is a 3 hour procedure. Just past 11 a.m. now. I'll have to wait at least another hour and a half. Just gonna try to relax now. Feeling a little bit nervous still. I think ready as I'll ever be. Hey everyone, it's Tuesday the 2nd of September, 9:30 in the morning. I don't think I actually slept, I was dozing in and out. Hard to sleep in ICU with all the noises, even with earplugs in. I'm still in ICU now, moving to the ward soon. I had to be in ICU for one night at least to check the excess blood and pooling of blood and fluid. The surgeon and all the medical team here gave me the go-ahead that it's good, no excess blood or pooling. When my wonderful nurse took the tube out, I couldn't believe it. It was that big. Speaking of taking stuff out, they've taken out the catheters everywhere. So I've got one here which is for injecting medication, one here for monitoring my blood. Oh, here are my nurses. I was just recording a little update.
Please update away.
Catheters removed, one for blood and monitoring, and then ECG stuff. I'm going to my ward now. But yeah, the catheter from the pee hole was so painful. so excruciating. Obviously you need that to drain the bladder, but that's out now, thank goodness. Had some coffee and yeah, might have another one later if I'm allowed. Right, we're ready to rock and roll. There's all my stuff. Thank you.
Ready to rock, baby?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey everyone, in my own room now at the ward. Left ICU around 9:30ish in the morning. It's the day after surgery. I shared a little bit of detail earlier, had a bit of breakfast as well, and yeah, I thought I'd continue just to share a little bit about what's happened since the surgery. I mentioned a little bit about what the neurosurgeon that operated on me spoke about. Overall, he's very happy. There was a few things that he said around the large arteries I had. He said you had some pretty big arteries, which were bigger than normal. He said some people do, some people don't. But yeah, I had slightly bigger arteries, and he just had to really take his time, not rush and navigate that. So that's what took a little bit more time than expected, but he said he was very, very happy with the surgery. So I'm very thrilled and so grateful for that. He also did some vocal exercise tests to see the condition of my vocal cords, because one of the risks is potential for damaging vocal cords, even minimally, or aggravating them. There's also a lot of vocal nerves, but the fact that I can speak now without any issues and pain is a good sign. You can see this big bandage on my neck. They had to take out that tube, which I'm surprised personally, because I'm not used to seeing any medical tools and apparatus and different instruments that medical teams see every day, like nurses. So yeah, I was pretty surprised. Apart from that discomfort, what else can I share? There wasn't anything noticeable other than the initial sore throat, which is slowly going away. It is very much expected that you will have a sore throat, tender throat. I mean, you can only imagine them moving arteries, tendons, muscles, fibers, anything in there, vocal cord to the side, esophagus, all the things, clamping that away so they've got access to the spine. And the discs obviously was the main thing, because they removed the disc on C4-5 and the disc on C5-6. So those two removed, and then the bone spurs were trimmed, and then inserted the spaces where the discs were, drilled them in. He used a 2-hole cage / spacer, they call it. The idea is that they fuse the vertebrae above and below at those levels ×2. So I can move my neck slightly. I'm instructed to gently move it left and right, 30 to 40 degrees, like that, up and down, all safe. The doc said it's important to do that so that all the other parts of the neck don't stiffen up. Good guidance from the doctor. I'm not really on any medication, apart from Panadol primarily, but yeah, if I do get a lot of pain, I'll be given things for that. All the other stuff is pretty mandatory stuff, like because they've taken out the catheter for my bladder, I now need to ensure that my bladder is gonna not just fill up normally, but to also empty and to pee normally. I'm told that I need to tell the nurses to, as soon as I have my first unassisted urination, that I need to let them know, because they need to do a ultrasound. What else? Yeah, some blood thinner injections to be had, pretty standard, similar to when I had to have 2 weeks of blood thinner injections actually in January 2019 when I had ankle reconstruction surgery back then. So pretty standard protocol. I haven't obviously checked the arm movement. I'm sort of bedbound, and when it comes to nerves, it takes quite a bit of time, if ever. So again, there's no guarantee that I'll regain function of my right arm as normal even after surgery. So that was always something that I knew coming in. The idea is to give yourself a chance of one day regaining that mobility and function and strength again. So in my case, I was restricted to maybe 30%, 40% max maybe of arm mobility going up. So I definitely couldn't go 90 degrees in terms of like raising my right arm sideways, because the C5 and C6 signal was being impeded, and the compression was so bad that it wasn't sending signals to my right shoulder. That whole thing. We'll see how that goes in terms of regaining that. But the benefit of the surgery was also to decompress a lot of that area to prevent further complications, because my disc was already deteriorating quite bad, particularly on C4-5 and C5-6. I already had been diagnosed with stenosis a little over a year and a half ago, which is the narrowing of the
spinal canal and the foramen, which is the passageways where the nerve roots exit out of the spine. So those two levels, this surgery will assist in creating and has created space for both the spinal cord and the nerve roots to have decent amount of space so that it won't be as compressed. Also had bone spurs, so the doc trimmed a lot of the bone spurs as well, as much as possible. That was also impeding on the nerves. What happened to my right could have happened to my left as well because of the condition of my neck and the instability of that area. I am in good spirits, as I've updated on socials to a lot of friends and family and a few posts online, and I'm just so grateful for the love and support in thoughts and prayers and well wishes. It does actually help a lot. I can say that from a place of supporting others through Lifeline as well, as a crisis support worker. The power of feeling like you're not alone, feeling validated and heard, thought about, it really helps with the healing. It helps even before the surgery. It's so comforting because it is quite scary to some degree. It's uncertain, and I think arguably it's there's an element there of course you trust in, whether it's your belief in God or the universe or even the research you've done from a scientific point of view, the surgeon that you choose, the credibility and experience that they have. In some version, it is a surrendering of control. It could be those reasons I mentioned, or all of them, or none of them. There might be different versions of how someone might arrive at feeling comfortable with this decision, but at the end of the day, it is a personal decision to make, and there are no guarantees with even other alternatives. And one of them was to do nothing. I just really thought, reflected, prayed, and arrived that this was the best decision for me and my family and my future. It's a really humbling experience, and a lot of the messages that I've received from friends and people in my network, family, loved ones, has been around looking at the future and using this as a gift, and seeing this as a gift and using this as a way of looking at how strong this will make me. And I say that on behalf of a lot of people who have been through any struggle, bouncing back from adversity. It's a different level of thinking, right? Like, look at me. I'm at the hands and mercy of everything, but what I can do, I can't do anything at this moment other than call for help. It's such a vulnerable, truly humbling experience. I'm grateful for everyone involved. Like I said, the love and support, the messages, prayers, thoughts, well wishes, everything. And then also the medical team here at the hospital to be in this situation that I can A, get a diagnosis, and B, get the appropriate help and expertise. I also got a CT scan before I got transferred here to the ward. The neurosurgeon wanted to make sure that everything looks good. Obviously, CT scan as well is going to reduce any ambiguity around that. So yeah, I'll update you as I go. This is 2nd of September. Gonna have some family visit again today, which I'm looking forward to. Because the neurosurgeon said to partially get up off the bed very slowly, and I can move my neck, he said, and should 30 to 40 degrees left and right, up and down, just a couple times, not too excessively of course. Had a physio visit me as well, just making sure that I'm starting with the very basics of being able to walk around without feeling too lightheaded, because I haven't been on my feet actually since 11 a.m. yesterday, so it's been over 24 hours since I'm now finally on my feet, so it feels good to be on my feet. I've got the waterproof bandage over the dressing here because that's where the incision site was, and where the tube for draining any excess blood at ICU. Got to keep this on for a bit. I'll take a shower. I'll show you a bit of the facilities. So not much to show, bed and room with a view. But this is the bathroom. Pretty simple. Toilet, accessibility shower and seat. Everything that you need really. Towels, hygiene stuff, soap and whatnot. And this is the outside of the ward where I did my first lap down here. Yeah, this is the wing I'm in, and that's the date right there. I'm feeling pretty good overall. Very low pain from the back of my right neck down to my shoulder to my arm. Now, of course, just put this down. Because of the 6.5 weeks of nerve damage, C4-5 and C5-6, because of the nerve damage for so long, there's no guarantee that I'll be able to move that back up. And yeah, it's very, very new, so I'm just going to take it easy, be very patient and kind to myself. It is what it's going to be. It might not ever be able to move like how I can with my left all the way up, but maybe it will improve over time. We'll see, even partially. But as a preventative measure on top of the chance of this getting recovered, being able to lift on my right arm as a preventative measure, there were other things going on. So this might help with that. But look, it was an important decision I had to act quickly on, because the longer that you delay nerve damage, specifically when it involves function, I'm told by multiple neurosurgeons that pain we can manage, but function is urgent. The statistics I was told was that under 30 days of having loss of function, there's a 80% chance of recovery, whereas once it's over 30 days, the chances drop down to 50%. Yeah, time was of the essence in my case to do this very urgently, because it was impinging and compressing in C4-5, C5-6 so much that I couldn't go beyond this. So now that it's freed up, maybe there's a chance for my nerves to heal, maybe. So I'm hopeful. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a long journey anyway in terms of 12 months of the fusion. So if you look up 2-level ACDF surgery, it'll tell you more detail what's involved. September 2, day 2. Just taking it easy at the moment. Thanks, guys. Hey everyone, good morning. It is Wednesday, day 3, post 2-level ACDF spinal surgery. Had breakfast earlier, had nurses come in, had my neurosurgeon check in on me as well, had the anaesthetist call me to check in on me, and then the physio just left. We did some exercises, he gave me some information, gave me this handy thing, a whole bunch of info for me to do while I'm here. Apart from that, this throat is still quite sore because of the incision site and the whole operation of moving all the arteries and vocal cord and esophagus aside, all that stuff. So a bit painful, but not as painful as when I woke up on Monday evening. Immediately after surgery, that was just pretty excruciating. Feeling good at the moment, all things considered. I am able to eat fairly easily, and I got my first somewhat proper good night's sleep in this private room, because the first night when I was at ICU, the noises were just so loud. Lots of lights, lots of noise. You're constantly being checked on, so you're not really able to sleep anyway. I managed to get some chunky hours through the night a little bit, and hopefully that continues. So yeah, it's a beautiful day today in Sydney. It's nice and sunny. That's outside the window. And I'll update you all again soon. So my brother just popped over very briefly to drop me over a coffee, a proper latte barista coffee. Oh, just took my first sip. Oh my gosh, get in me. Asked for a strong double shot small latte. That's hitting the spot. I'm making up for the multiple coffees that I couldn't have over the last couple of days. Oh, simple pleasures, hey? For a functional update on this, I still can't move that beyond this point, and I'm trying to not shrug, just relaxing the traps there, because what was impinged was C5 and C6 nerve roots, and that controls the shoulder, deltoid particularly. I've got sensation I can feel, which is great. I had some numbness here at the front of my forearm, bicep, down my shoulder as well. But functionally, it's still stuck there in terms of not being able to signal because of the nerve root damage. Whereas my left have a full function. You can raise that, but this side, yeah, it's still there. So obviously early days, or maybe it will stay that way, which is pretty scary, but I am hopeful that it'll regain function as the nerves are not being compressed and damaged from the compression, constant compression, now that it's relieved of that impingement and protrusion from the discs and the bone spurs. Yeah, maybe over time, weeks, months, years, maybe it'll come back. So yeah, it is what it is. I can move that, I can do that, I can, if I do the chicken wing test, as the neurosurgeons say, I can do that. So I can squeeze, I can move, twist this way, burn my elbow, but if I try and move that, it's there. Whereas this left side's fine, of course. That's a bit of the update functionally. Hey! What a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I'm going to be into this right now. I'm going to get
Thank you, boss. Take a seat. Oh, mate. Doing better. Jesus, look at him. Going out for an adventure. 3rd of September.
Seeing some sun for the first time.
Morning everyone, it is Thursday, the 4th of September. So it is day 4 since post 2-level ACDF spinal surgery. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I've just had breakfast, standard stuff, scrambled eggs, toast, a bit of Weet Bix, prunes, some tea, banana, solid. Had a pretty good sleep last night as well. Apparently I was in deep sleep, so that was good. My neurosurgeon checked in on me again. He's been checking in on me every single morning, which is just amazing care here that I've experienced. And as I was chatting with him, he felt very happy with my progress, my condition. It's obviously a day-by-day monitoring thing, but even he said my voice is starting to normalize. My throat pain is reducing day by day. The plan is to not be in bed all day, and for me to hopefully be discharged tomorrow if I'm feeling well enough, and to continue those neck movements left and right, up and down, gently, sort of 30 to 40 degrees. But yeah, look, the arm strength, it's going to take some time, as I sort of shared already, in terms of like full function. Yeah, that's just going to be a patience thing, and try to hopefully be as stress-free as possible, be as calm as possible, so that I can allow my nerves to heal the best that they can, and then hopefully day by day that function can come back in terms of lifting up my right arm. That's a quick update, and yeah, maybe I can even go downstairs to the cafe and get myself some coffee. It's been really, really great here. It's a bit gloomy today in Sydney, so it was very, very bright and sunny yesterday. Yeah, this is my ward, and I've just been doing laps up and down here slowly. Physio will be here soon as well, and I'm going to get an x-ray today. My neurosurgeon was happy with the CT scan the other day. He said it looks even better than most post-op CT scans. So yeah, I'll try to show you all what that looks like, because there's a cool 3D modeling part of the scan that was made available. And yeah, today I'll be doing a x-ray. He said moving forward we'll be doing many more x-rays as we check in. Next check-in will be a little over a month from now, and yeah, it'll be a 12-month sort of expected full fusion recovery. Full fusion outcome happens within sort of like a 12-month period, because the bones need pretty much a year to fuse together, those vertebrae. So anyway, that's it for today, and I'll keep you all posted on all the exciting things that I've clearly got planned during my remaining stay here. But all is well. Thank you so much again for all the messages, thoughts, prayers, well wishes. I've been so overwhelmed in a good way, and it just means so much to me to receive that. It was, needless to say, very very heartwarming, and I'm very moved by all the messages. So if you sent me one, just know that I received it. I received it with such amazement really. Yeah, hundreds of people messaging, so thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hey everyone, it's about 11 a.m. at the moment. I was able to have a shower. Nurse came in to the waterproof over the bandage, filled out my tomorrow's choices. It's actually pretty cool to have a choice. I mean, gosh, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Some might think that this is a hotel. Incredible. Lunch tomorrow, grilled Atlantic salmon. You've got all these accompaniments, mashed potato, well-cooked vegetables, even lemon sorbet. Very impressed and very grateful to have such great treatment here at the hospital. I was going to show you all something. So this is a hard lacrosse ball. A physio friend of mine gave me this 3 years ago now, and it has been a godsend. You can pack it anywhere, just as a sort of release of any tightness in your muscles. Obviously, being in bed, the worry is not to have blood clots. So I brought this because if there's a wall, you can easily just place it on there and sort of gently lean against the surface with a ball in between, and yeah, just can get like a gentle sort of release with decent enough pressure depending on how much you lean and press on it. But I've been getting real stiffness in my neck and traps, particularly because mobility wise and movement wise it's been quite restricted. So heat pack has been helping a ton, and ice on the throat to reduce the swelling and the pain. But heat on the traps, I've been doing that in the last 24 hours. It's been helping a lot. And then now just gently having that sort of very slight pressure on the traps, because it's just very tight. Yeah, you can go obviously as gentle as you like. You can't even go too hard because you're limited with how much you can press on a wall, but you could do it lying down as well, which I'm not going to attempt, obviously. I have an x-ray today at some point, and the physio is going to come as well, and hopefully I can pop downstairs for a coffee because I haven't had it yet. It's just past 11 a.m. That's my day so far. Hello. Hey. I have a visitor. Who might it be? Curtain reveal. Good timing. Mickey G in the house. I knew you were going to come, so I had it ready. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday the 5th of September, day 5 post-surgery, ACDF spinal surgery. I've had my breakfast, 9:15 in the morning. My neurosurgeon checks in on me every morning, 7 a.m. on the dot, and always bright and bubbly and so caring. High level of care from him. Looks like I'm getting discharged tonight, which is awesome. Very, very happy with that. Great to have his check-ins with the scans that I've had. So I had CT scan 3 days ago. I had my x-ray yesterday, and he pulled it up on his phone and talked me through it. He's very happy with my progress. He did point out that there is swelling in my throat still, naturally, because of the incision site and moving
all the things, arteries, vocal cord, esophagus, muscle tissue, etc. But that's as expected. So I just have to take it easy. My right arm is still limited in terms of functionality. So he wanted me to try get a wall like this and use my fingers like that to crawl up. But if I leave that, my arm drops to about here. So that's where I'm restricted there. So yeah, I'll do those exercises. He just wants me to keep the shoulder mobile. Okay. Yeah, obviously I can do that with my left very easily. Fingers crossed. I'm very, very optimistic that the nerves will heal and that my brain will send signals from the nerve through to my shoulder and arm properly again. Pain is on the low side. I'd say it's about 2 out of 10. Mainly the discomfort's here and a bit of soreness with actually my left side of my neck, which is more muscular than anything because my pain had been on the right side. Now that's relieved. Now my left side can finally relax as well, because I think it had been carrying a lot of the heavy lifting of stabilizing my neck in those 6.5 weeks where I was just having excruciating pain. Look, I'm very happy with the surgery itself. Looking at the CT scans and the x-rays, I'm still blown away by how this can even be done. And I'm so grateful that we have access to these specialists and expertise, and truly, truly amazing to have this level of modern medicine. And yeah, to be in this country, in Australia, to have options even. There's actually so many great neurosurgeons out there when I was looking around, and a good problem to have, let's put it that way. So plan today is, shower, go for a bit of a walk, get another coffee perhaps. It's actually so beautiful today in Sydney. So nice and sunny. Check this out. Feels good to feel the sun on my face, that's for sure. Awesome. Yeah, this was home for a good 5 days for me since Monday, and it's Friday now. Definitely a huge shout out to all the nurses, catering staff, cleaners. Everyone here has been amazing at this private hospital, so thank you so much. All right, that's it for now. I'll fill you guys more in as things progress. I'm going for a walk. Just get yourself a coffee. Feel that sun on my face. Time for me to get ready and get out of here. Getting discharged tonight, 8 p.m, Friday the 5th of September. So a little bit of packing before I get picked up by my beautiful wife. Room 3907. I bid you farewell. September 7:22. Going once. See you later, Northwest Private Hospital. So that really good news that I mentioned is my right arm has regained, for the most part, its function again. I couldn't do that, as you saw in the video, right after surgery, certainly not. The thinking behind it is the nerves needed to heal from the damage. And so slowly but surely I can do this, right? Similar to this one, no problem in the left, but my right, I couldn't do this before surgery, nor could I have done that. It's still fairly weak when I do that, but the fact that I can even attempt to do that is a huge blessing, and I am so thrilled. When I did this chicken wing test, they call it, last night, and then trying to do that lateral arm raise, wow, I was
both in shock and just elated by the ability to get that back, and hopefully it just continues to strengthen and get better. Thanks again for staying till the end of this video, and hopefully this was somewhat helpful for someone out there. Cheers.